I wanted to ask you about something that was written here. Bobby Heenan made a knock during the match at the guys who hurt their hip and quit. That was a reference to Bo Jackson. The real story here is the WWF tried to get Bo Jackson for WrestleMania and it was turned down. And I guess there were bad feelings over it. That's speculation in the Observer. Bo Jackson was a monster sports star. A lot of our listeners about my age probably had a poster of Bo Jackson wearing those shoulder pads with the bat over his shoulders. And I mean, he was a big time athlete and star and public figure. But I've never heard that there was even interest or discussion about him at WrestleMania. Do you remember that being true? Bo Jackson at WrestleMania?
Oh, sure. Yeah. We were talking about Bo being a three athlete star and if he wanted to come in, but, Bo was concerned as far as how that would jeopardize his football and baseball career. And, any little thing, he just wasn't interested. He was interested, but he thought, wrestling's fake. Yeah, I can do that. And then when he found out, no, man, it's you got to be a hybrid athlete to do it. And Bo was a great athlete. I just don't think Bo had any desire to learn how to take a bump or do any of the things required to get into the ring. It's a different look, man. It's a different world than getting hit with pads or trying to hit a baseball. It's a different world. I'm not. I played football, and it's the old thing of when that first day of pads hurts like hell, but by the third or fourth day that you're back in pads and you're hitting, and it's like you're begging somebody to hit you, and you're hitting them all out, and you're calloused up, you're numb to it by that point. So it's just they're different. You can't knock them on them. I'm not going to go out and play football. I'm not going to play baseball. Can't hit a ball. Plus, I'd fall asleep. But
are you going to fall asleep from the Arn and Tully matches, or just bottom of the seventh inning stretch, or what?
I couldn't. I wouldn't make it to the seventh inning in baseball. I'm not a baseball guy, man. Don't get it. I like to go to a baseball. I like to go to a baseball stadium and sit back and have a few beers and eat some hot dogs. But after that, just takes too long. Not enough happening.
It's so wild to me to think about the crossover opportunities that you guys had and tried to get. Of course, in 1990, you thought you had Mike Tyson. Didn't work out. You got Buster Douglas instead. In 91, you tried to get Bo Jackson. In 94, or I guess 95, you get Lawrence Taylor. In 96, you tried for OJ. And then in 98, you actually get Mike Tyson. But man, what if along the way, Bo Jackson? My goodness, that would have been wild.
Yeah. But again, look at it from Bo Jackson's side. What's he got to lose?
Right.
In his eyes, man, he had everything to lose. There was no upside for him. So it just was one of those things. Everybody got it, but at the same time, he was all in for a minute until he realized, oh, this requires work. And that's with a lot of outside talent that think that oh, this is going to be easy. But that's why I have so much respect for a guy like Tyson, a guy like Floyd Mayweather, Lawrence Taylor, who put the work in, that came in knowing that, oh man, I gotta put the work in because I don't want to embarrass myself, and realize the athletic needs to go out and perform at this level. So, and even today, the Bad Bunnies of the world and the Logan Pauls of the world, man, those guys, they live it. And that's the difference. It's not just a guy coming in and showing up for a match and do a couple of moves. That won't work, especially with today's audience. But even then, they saw through it. So the guys have got to be willing to put the work in.
wanted to talk to you a little bit about Brian Bosworth, because whenever I think about Bo Jackson, I inevitably think about Bosworth.
Great guy.
And man, it felt like he was a prime candidate to be a part of the WWE programming as well. I mean, he was even in the movie called Stone Cold, unrelated, but just had a cool look, a crazy haircut, had a reputation, clearly a marketer. I mean, he would sell the I Hate Bosworth t-shirts outside of the stadium. That was actually him making money on those
Absolutely.
t-shirts. So it just feels like, man, he would have been a home run fit for you guys. I think his football career ended after just a couple seasons. So call it 1990, he would have been available. Was there ever significant discussion with Bosworth about doing something in wrestling?
The conversations with Bosworth over the years have always been around, come into this business. This business is made for you.
Yes.
And Brian was a football player. Brian loved football. That's what he wanted to do. So Brian being able to coach, Brian being able to do broadcasting, Brian doing anything else with football, that was his passion. That was his love. But from Bill Watts to Vince, I'm sure JR at WCW probably tried. Man, there was always room for Bosworth, because I mean, to me, he was more made for our business ever than he was for football. And he was great. Look, he was a great ball player too, but he had a look, he had an intensity, and he loved it. He loved getting out there. He loved being hated. So I thought Boz was another one that was tailor-made for our business.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-Free Shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.